Good afternoon to all in a nice snowy afternoon. Already main hello for everybody. We are waiting here and I want you to know that in spite of the finals week, we have 4 faculty members and several of our students here waiting and anxious to give you our live tour. So welcome to Jones Hall. That's the home for a chemical and biomedical engineering program. We're gonna talk about both programs and you will know when we switch from chemical to biomedical or vice versa. And you will get direct information from our juniors and seniors as to why they came to University of Maine, what they are doing at the University of Maine, and what are their plans after graduation. So without much ado, let's get started with the facilities part, and we're gonna walk over to our Process Development Center, which is a $6 million facility, and we do $1 million worth of business here from our industrial client. And we're gonna talk about some exciting things we are doing in this process development plant and how it helps our undergraduate students is you might get a job here and you'll be working here, earn some money while you are going to school and get interaction with our real clients from the business world. So 2 things you're gonna see is our pilot paper machine and the new specialty paper that we just made a few weeks ago that Donna Johnson is gonna talk about. Donna?
Hi, I'm Donna Johnson, Research Manager at the Process Development Center, where you're at the moment. We want to talk about the hand sanitizer at the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah. So at the beginning of the pandemic, we were making hand sanitizer to supply to basically throughout the state through NEMA, and we made probably about 3,000 gallons total and distributed throughout the state. And right now we're making it at smaller amounts for use on campus as needed. So right now we're going to be talking here about cellulose nanofibrils, nanocellulose, which is a product that we make starting with, this is a sheet of pulp, and we refine it in a disc refiner to make a kind of pudding-like substance, which has different properties than regular pulp does. If you partially dry it and freeze dry it, it's kind of a foam-like material. If you dry it further, it's a very, very hard, millable kind of material. It can be made into films of various kinds. And as Hennett said a couple of weeks ago, we did a paper machine trial. These are samples from the paper machine trial. If you look over here, there's a roll that came off the paper machine, so that's our product. And these piles are those cut up. And what we did was make a sheet of paper and put some of this material on the surface of that sheet of paper. So you can't necessarily see, but this is material without the CNF on it, and this is with the CNF on it. That curl is due in part to that material on the surface of the sheet. Now, why we're doing this is to develop barrier properties, and barrier properties can be a number of things. You might want some resistance to water, resistance to oxygen, and in this case we're looking at oil and grease resistance. So if you were making paper for food wrapping in your pizza box or whatever, that kind of thing is what we're looking at developing here. So we make this material in back here. We're in the middle of construction. We're expanding our refiner lab. We've got a $1 million grant to do that. And so The refiner that we originally used to make that material with is packed up and ready to go and get rebuilt here. And over here are 3 new refiners. The refiner is made, let's see, over here is a plate that goes into the refiner. So you would put those plates, you would put a pair of those plates, actually 4 of those plates, in this refiner. And in a pair, one is still and one is rotating. And so the pulp goes between those, and that develops the properties that you want. So in this expansion, well, right now when we do that, we're doing it in a batch system. So it goes from a tank through the refiner back to the tank again. But part of this expansion is so that we can do this continuously. So you'll put material in, go through the refiner, and come out as a finished product. And so over here we have some of our material. In barrels, and so these were processed to different levels basically in the refiner, and so this material is what we used on the paper machine to make sheets of paper.